Genius and madness, two sides of the same coin. In our world, the smartest individuals often spiral into obsession, delusion, or outright insanity. But why? Why do the most brilliant minds always seem to walk the fine line between intellect and self-destruction? Today, we're dissecting this phenomenon through one of anime's greatest minds, Light Yagami from Death Note. This is the insanity paradox. The first step to understanding the insanity paradox is recognizing the genius trap, the idea that extreme intelligence comes with extreme isolation, an inflated ego, and a growing detachment from reality. When we meet Light Yagami, he's a top student, a natural strategist, and disgusted with the world's moral decay. He sees himself as above others, and when the Death Note falls into his hands, it validates his superiority complex. But what makes Light so terrifying is that his intelligence is the very thing that warps his morality. He doesn't hesitate to test the notebook, he calculates every move meticulously, and he plays God with absolute confidence. Light doesn't just use the Death Note, he rationalizes it. And this is where genius turns into madness. The second stage of the insanity paradox is megalomania, the delusion of absolute control. Smart characters, when given power, often believe they are the only ones fit to wield it. With every victory, Light's belief in his own divinity grows. He doesn't just want to eliminate criminals, he wants absolute order, a world where he decides who lives and who dies. He frames this as justice, but in reality, it's unchecked narcissism fueled by power. And yet, what makes Light fascinating isn't just that he becomes a megalomaniac. It's that he never sees himself as insane. In his mind, he's the only rational one. But to the audience, his delusions of grandeur become more unhinged with every episode. There's another side to the insanity paradox, the pressure of being perfect. The smarter someone is, the greater their need for control, and the more they break under pressure. Light Yagami wasn't just playing a game. He was carrying the weight of his God complex, the burden of keeping his identity secret, and the constant need to outmaneuver everyone. In the end, it wasn't just Nier or the SPK that defeated him. It was his own arrogance and exhaustion. He became so obsessed with being untouchable that he lost the one thing that made him terrifying, his careful, methodical approach. The smartest characters often fall not because they aren't intelligent enough, but because their intelligence makes them overestimate their ability to control everything. This paradox isn't just confined to anime. It's deeply rooted in real-world history. Take Nikola Tesla, a brilliant inventor whose genius was overshadowed by paranoia and obsessive behavior. Or John Nash, the Nobel-winning mathematician whose schizophrenia blurred the line between reality and delusion. Even Isaac Newton, one of the greatest minds in history, became so obsessed with alchemy and esoteric knowledge that he nearly lost himself. What do these figures have in common with Light Yagami? An obsession with control, an inability to accept imperfection, and a mind that couldn't turn off. Just like Light, they were visionaries, but visionaries who became prisoners of their own brilliance. A genius doesn't just think, they predict, they plan, they manipulate. But the irony is, the smarter someone is, the more they believe in the illusion of control. They see life as a game, a puzzle to be solved. But reality is chaos. And the moment a genius underestimates unpredictability, they spiral. This is why the smartest people often self-destruct. They get so lost in their own strategies that they forget the one thing no intelligence can predict: human nature. Perhaps that's why these characters captivate us. Because in their downfall, we see a terrifying truth, that the brightest minds, when unchecked, can be their own greatest enemies. What do you think? Do intelligence and insanity go hand in hand? Or was Light's downfall inevitable no matter what?